Before we begin this show, Civil Defiance, we want to make something perfectly clear. The commentary and analysis regarding media trends, celebrity influence, and political manipulation are based on public behavior, widely published financial arrangements, psychological studies on persuasion, and constitutionally protected political opinion and hyperbole of the host, Otto Bismarck. Any discussion of specific commercial or political endorsements is focused on the archetype of celebrity deception and the mechanisms of propaganda, not the private conduct of any individual or named brand. We are not asserting factual claims regarding secretive or criminal conduct against any specific person. The views expressed are solely the host's and do not reflect those of anyone else. We're Civil Defiance, and this is your 60-minute deep dive into the most vital information war of 2025.
Welcome to Civil Defiance. I'm Otto Bismarck, and tonight we pull back the curtain on the grand illusion. We expose the puppet masters who don't hide in shadowy back rooms, but in plain sight, smiling at you from your screens, whispering in your ears, and selling you the comfortable, convenient, and utterly soul-crushing lies that hold the Uniparty's empire together. What you are about to hear is not entertainment. It is intellectual ammunition. This is your hour of defiance. Today, our target is the media oligarchy, a gilded cage for your mind built by a new class of digital warlords. These aren't the politicians you can vote out, nor the journalists you can hold to a standard. They are the rich and famous, the darlings of Hollywood and Silicon Valley who have stormed the podcasting battlefield. Their purpose is not to seek truth, but to conquer it, to occupy the territory of your thoughts, to drown out the authentic voices of dissent with a tsunami of celebrity approved narratives, and to sell you a beautifully packaged pack of lies, all dressed in the false authenticity of fame. They have become the voluntary gatekeepers of the elite agenda, and their price is your freedom. The greatest, most insidious conspiracy in modern media isn't a secret plot hatched in the dark. It's a lie broadcast in broad daylight, the lie that a conversation hosted by a multimillionaire actor or a billionaire tech mogul is somehow more real asterisk, more trustworthy asterisk, or more insightful than the painstaking work of an independent, truth-seeking journalist. I am here to tell you the opposite is true. The golden microphone of the celebrity is the Uniparty's most effective, most devastatingly efficient tool of modern propaganda. This isn't just an observation. This is a declaration of war. Over the next hour, we will dissect their methods, expose their motives, and arm you with the critical thinking necessary to see the cage for what it is. This is a 60-minute expose on why you must stop listening to the stars and start listening for the substance, before the substance is gone for good. Part 1. The Propaganda of Proximity. Why fame equals false trust? The rich and famous have a superpower that true podcasters can never replicate, the propaganda of proximity. When you listen to a celebrity, an actor, a retired athlete, a musician, you feel a sense of intimacy. You believe you know them. They are in your car, your earbuds, your home, talking casually, often with minimal editing. Your brain mistakes this manufactured proximity for authenticity and trust. The media oligarchy knows this. They understand that a celebrity can toss out a piece of false information, a half-truth, a blatant lie, or a deliberately twisted narrative, and it instantly bypasses the critical scrutiny you would apply to a traditional news anchor. Why? Because the celebrity has spent decades building up cultural capital, a reserve of goodwill and familiarity that makes you want to believe them. This celebrity influence is instantly weaponized. When a celebrity suggests a radical political viewpoint on their show, listeners don't question the political science. They question their own alignment with their favorite star. When a celebrity pushes a financial deception, a crypto coin, a wellness scam, A dubious investment, listeners don't question the prospectus. They trust the familiar face who is already rich. This is the ultimate form of voter manipulation and commercial fraud. It's not the content that convinces you, it's the packaging. It is the sound of a rich person using the emotional capital earned from acting in movies to convince you to vote for them, buy for them, or even fight for them. Part 2, the Uniparty's wallet. Buying and twisting the narrative. We must acknowledge the financial mechanics. These celebrity podcasts are not spontaneous hobbies. They are corporate and political enterprises, often bankrolled directly by the very power structures they pretend to critique. The Uniparty, the deep political establishment, does not need to pay for a press release anymore. They just need to buy a segment on a top-tier celebrity podcast. So how does the deception work? First, the buy-in. The campaign or corporate interest doesn't endorse the celebrity. They become a sponsor of the show, or they arrange for their key political figure to be an intimate guest. The celebrity is paid handsomely for this veneer of access. Next, the falsification of information. The celebrity, or the candidate that has bought them, then uses the platform to launch false information or twists facts with impunity. There is no editor, no fact checker, and no journalistic standard. The celebrity, insulated by their fame, can deploy political propaganda that a real journalist would be fired for broadcasting. Then comes the drowning out. This celebrity-driven content, backed by big tech promotion and massive social media reach, instantly generates millions of downloads. The algorithm of the elite pushes the propaganda to the top of the charts, effectively drowning out any true and sensible podcaster who is actually doing the hard work of independent investigation. The result is a media landscape where wealth and fame are the only prerequisites for a microphone. If you are not rich and famous, your voice is statistically insignificant. The elite agenda is being broadcast directly to the masses, disguised as casual banter. Part 3, the call to arms. Buy, vote, fight, and the culture war. The goals of this celebrity media oligarchy are simple and repetitive. Buy for them, vote for them, fight for them. First, buy for them. This is the most obvious commercial deception. The celebrity shills for products, investments, and health scams with the highest possible profit margins. The listeners are convinced they are getting an insider tip when they are simply the final mark in a massive financial deception. Second, vote for them. This is political manipulation. Whether the celebrity is subtly shilling for the sitting executive's faction or the opposing establishment wing of the Uniparty, the purpose is the same: to use emotional bonds to transfer political loyalty. The political figures who have bought them rely on the celebrity's unearned credibility to push votes across the finish line, often based on false information and twisted narratives. And third, fight for them. This is the most destructive form of propaganda, culture war instigation. Celebrities insulated in their mansions use their platforms to pour gasoline on the culture war. They do not suffer the consequences of the division they foment. They profit from it. They create the rage, the division, and the calls for censorship or confrontation, all to keep the audience engaged and distracted from the real power centers, the Uniparty, and big tech that are working in harmony above the fray. The ultimate goal of this orchestrated celebrity influence is to create a nation of compliant consumers and obedient voters. They want a public that fights for them against imaginary enemies, while the rich and famous quietly consolidate all real power. Part 4, Civil Defiance. Reclaiming the truth from the algorithm. We cannot simply turn off the radio. Civil defiance requires a strategic response to this audio media oligarchy. We must deliberately bypass the algorithm of the elite. First, recognize the gilded cage. Every time you hear a rich and famous person speak, ask yourself, is this an act of journalism or is this paid propaganda? What financial or political interest does this person serve? Their wealth is not proof of their intelligence. It is proof of their access to the very system they pretend to critique. Second, seek the drowned voices. Make a conscious effort to find the true and sensible podcaster, the one who doesn't have a multi-million-dollar contract, the one who relies on direct listener support, the one who is willing to speak the dangerous truth that gets them demonetized or deplatformed by big tech. These voices are the actual resistance to the uni-party machine. Third, prioritize substance over star power. Judge the content on its verifiable facts and its logic, not the charisma of the host. If the falsified information doesn't stand up to 5 minutes of critical thinking, reject it entirely, regardless of how famous the host is. The golden microphone is meant to distract you, divide you, and ultimately deceive you into sacrificing your liberty for the elite agenda. The true civil defiance is to listen to the truth, even when it's inconveniently delivered by a voice that isn't sponsored by a pharmaceutical company or a political machine. Turn off the celebrity sirens and engage your mind. The truth is out there, but it will never be broadcast from the penthouse.